Again, as I've always said, it's one thing to make a product that solves a problem that someone has, but you don't want to make a product that causes other problems. I basically get to learn from the experience of other companies who really don't seem to care about that. So what we do is, and in fact, I've made products that initially were very poorly reviewed. But I don't look at those poor reviews as the kiss of death. I look at those poor reviews as an opportunity for me to make a better product and eventually to make a perfect product. And there's been a few that started off, my meal replacement started off with 2-star reviews. Marine collagen peptides, 2-star reviews. Both of them are customer picks today. It wasn't easy to get them back up there, but you make a better product, you get better reviews. So your input is what guides me. And unfortunately, it doesn't guide many other companies out there, it seems.
True.
Some care, but not all.
That's right. Now, I have not presented this with you before.
This is
new?
One of those products that what I really should have done is mention this. I should have done this after each airing of The Essential One.
Oh.
And if I should have thought about that, but I didn't. This is a really important product. In fact, so many of us, when it comes to vitamin K2 MK7, it's related chemically to vitamin K1, but beyond that, has little or nothing to do with vitamin K1. They share a name, but they couldn't be more different in terms of benefit. Vitamin K1 relates to blood clotting. Therein is the vitamin K. K, coagulation in German, starts and spelled with a K, and it was discovered in relation to blood clotting, coagulation. But vitamin K2 MK7 is all about maximizing the health of your skeleton and maximizing the health of your blood vessels and arteries, your cardiovascular health, because it makes sure that your calcium stays in your bones, goes to your bones where you want it, and it doesn't go to your blood vessels and arteries where you don't want it. In fact, I was just reading a study published recently about vitamin K2 MK7 and the fact that it actually contributes to and supports and promotes arterial flexibility, arterial resiliency. We were talking about that earlier with vitamin D. So it's one of those ingredients that I would not want to be without. It's really one of those ingredients that the research, it's a relatively recently researched product in terms of the science. We've only been doing this for I'd say about 4 or 5 years. The science has only been out there for maybe 6 or 7 years, but the science is growing faster than almost any other ingredient out there, and I can't recommend it highly enough.
And so this is, it's pretty, by the way, as an aside, but I know that's not.
That makes the huge difference to me.
Exactly, I'm sure it does.
I only want to take pretty capsules.
To take pretty capsules, but so you don't put trace amounts of this in anything else. I mean, you would buy it
separately.
No,
it's because it's a soft gel. First of all, it's not something so.
It's not.
Yeah,
gotcha.
The most economical way to deliver it is in a soft gel, as it is here, as an oil. And vitamin K2 MK7, it's something that when we think about calcium in our body, and we can't not take in calcium because we absolutely require it for our skeleton, both men and women, or we're going to have issues with the health of our skeleton as we get older. So we can't not take our calcium for fear of some of that calcium ending up in other tissues, our joints, calcifying our joints or calcifying our arteries or things like that. Obviously, those are undesirable things. But we can be confident about the calcium that's in our diet and the calcium that's in a supplement if we're taking vitamin K2 MK7, that we're getting all the benefits. Again, we're getting all the benefits of that calcium, we're getting the benefits of that vitamin D, and none of the problems. And we need those benefits, but with vitamin K2 MK7, that's all you're getting are benefits.
So does this partner with my calcium then?
Yes.
When I take my calcium?
And even if you're not taking calcium, even if you don't supplement calcium, you still consume calcium in food.
Gotcha.
And the calcium in food still is going to be deposited in our bones, hopefully preferentially. But unfortunately, just like a calcium supplement, once that calcium is in your body is going to maintain an equilibrium of calcium between various tissues. All your cells must have calcium in them. So if you're having calcium in your bone, as it's being moved around your body, the calcium has a possibility of ending up in tissues that we don't want it to end up in. Vitamin K2 MK7, what I often say, it's sort of the traffic cop, that on a chemical basis, without getting into the physiology of how it works, it actually drives the process for calcium being retained and utilized better in bone and not being retained and deposited in other tissues. It's sort of the traffic cop that directs things where it's supposed to go and keeps it from going where it shouldn't go.
So can I eat something, like, because I'm going to have lobster risotto, caviar, and beef Wellington later. Is there any, you know, special K in that?
Are you just like showing off and just trying to make me jealous? Because I have to go home and be responsible.
I know you do. You've got to be, it's a school night for you.
It's a school night for me.
I know.
But you can actually, with any food, you can take any of these supplements. So it doesn't matter. When you take a vitamin K2 MK7, it's not as though you have to take it when you're taking calcium.
Gotcha.
It works within your body. When you have healthy vitamin K2 MK7 levels, then what you have is the ability to maintain a healthy homeostasis, a healthy equilibrium and balance of calcium between the tissues of your body. So it's not like you're taking it at the same time to ensure that the calcium you consume in a meal, say if it's from dairy product or whatever it might be, that it has nothing to do with consuming it at the same time, has everything to do with once you establish a healthy vitamin K2 level, which you could even take one capsule every other day. I take a capsule every day, but you could even take one capsule every other day. Some people take 2 capsules. By the way, we make a 50 microgram and a 200 microgram. This is the 100 microgram. This is the one I think most people are opting for. So 100, 200, even 50 micrograms is a great amount. And taking 100 every other day is basically the same as taking 50 every day.
Okay.